There are a lot of big names that are going to be hitting free agency this offseason.
Jimmy Garoppolo seems pretty clear based on all the talk that we've heard that a move on from San Francisco is happening, just a matter of where and when.
Let's dive into our way too early predictions on where the top 15 NFL free agents of 2023 will sign. Tom Brady, Las Vegas Raiders. Well, now that he's officially divorced, there's really no reason for Tom Brady to quit football if he wants to continue playing. And based on what he's been saying in the media, it seems like the GOAT isn't quite ready to hang him up. If Brady does come back for another year, he also won't have to feel obliged to sign with a Florida-based team in order to stay close to home. He probably still would have liked the opportunity to play in Miami, but with Tua Tagovailoa looking like a world beater for the Dolphins, a move to South Beach seems very unlikely. That would open the door to a possible partnership between Brady and the Las Vegas Raiders, who may have finally seen enough from Derek Carr. Some might think Josh McDaniels is a shoo-in to get fired after this season, but what if he were the golden ticket to attracting Brady to Vegas? The two of them had plenty of success together in New England. You'd have to think that Brady would love the idea of reuniting in Nevada, where he would also have some pretty amazing playmakers to work with in Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller. You heard it here first, folks. Brady is coming back in 2023, and he'll be donning the silver and black when he does. Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. It's fun to envision a million different scenarios, but let's not overthink this one. Jackson will be a Raven for a long time. Don't read too much into the two teams failing to reach a contract extension ahead of the season. Jackson is simply betting on himself, and understandably so. The Ravens also haven't given any indication that they don't want him there. Baltimore was mired in mediocrity under Joe Flacco during his final 5 seasons with the team. Jackson turned them back into an annual Super Bowl contender. The only real question is if he'll play under the franchise tag or sign a lucrative long-term deal. Bottom line, the 2019 league MVP isn't going anywhere. Teams looking for a QB in 2023 free agency should shift their focus somewhere else. Saquon Barkley, Buffalo Bills. When you look at the Bills roster, there are quite a few glaring holes. Josh Allen is a top 3 QB, and the defense is set to be a top 5 group for many years to come. But that being said, Allen has never really had a Pro Bowl level running back to work with. Enter Saquon Barkley. The early guess is that the New York Giants decide against overpaying for Barkley even after a nice bounce back season. They just need to look at the other lucrative running back contracts that didn't age well in recent years. The Bills have Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, and Dawson Knox to round out a deep pass catching group. Allen is dangerous as a runner as well, but imagine if opposing defenses also had to account for the 2018 Offensive Rookie of the Year. For the sake of Allen's long-term health, Buffalo needs to make this move. Adding a workhorse linebacker like Barkley would keep Allen fresh and healthier long-term, all while making the league's scariest offense all the more, well, scary. Roquan Smith, Baltimore Ravens. The Chicago Bears were unable to reach a long-term deal with Smith ahead of the 2022 season. Not wanting to lose the former 8th overall pick for nothing in the offseason, they dealt him to the Baltimore Ravens at the trade deadline, getting a 2nd and 5th round pick and linebacker AJ Klein in return. After spending all that draft capital to acquire Smith, I highly doubt the Ravens will let him walk after just half a season. Look for Baltimore to get their money's worth by signing the 2nd-team All-Pro to a lucrative extension this offseason. Jimmy Garoppolo, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This has to be Tom Brady's last NFL season, right? And even if it isn't, we're expecting him to go to the Raiders. So how fitting would it be for Jimmy Garoppolo to finally succeed TB12, only this time in Tampa Bay instead of New England? The San Francisco 49ers will surely let Garoppolo walk and move forward with 2021 first-round pick Trey Lance, whose 2022 season was cut short with a fractured ankle. The Bucs are the perfect destination for Garoppolo here. The roster is still built to win now with a good mix of young and veteran talents. They aren't in a position to rebuild, and Garoppolo can totally get it done with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Leonard Fournette as his playmakers. Tampa can lean on its prolific pass-catching duo and their stout front 7 on defense to win what should be a weak NFC South for many years to come. Garoppolo just makes way too much sense here. Jordan Poyer, New York Giants. The Buffalo Bills would hate to lose one of the best safeties in football, but with the team expected to be right up against the cap in 2023, it'll be tough for them to retain Jordan Poyer. That does mean Poyer and his family will have to leave the state of New York, though. One team that will have plenty of cap space is the Giants. And they also have a dire need at the strong safety position. Brian Dable already has his club competing for a playoff spot in the NFC. Adding a proven star like Poyer will only help the Giants' chances of being a major player in the conference beyond the 2022 season. Orlando Brown Jr., Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs were unable to reach a long-term deal with Brown ahead of the 2022 season. He probably should have taken their offer because, well, the three-time Pro Bowler hasn't really looked like himself this year. Brown has time to turn it around and increase his value on the open market, but the best bet here may be for him to take a one-year deal somewhere and reset his value for 2024. If Brown does want to do that, it makes the most sense for him to stay with Kansas City. He's in good hands there with Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Joe Thuney rounding out a top-tier offensive line. And if Brown does finish 2022 on a strong note, then why would KC let him go? You can't put a price on keeping Patrick Mahomes safe and healthy, and Kansas City did trade 4 picks, including a 2021 first-rounder, to get Brown from Baltimore. It would be such a waste of draft capital if they just let him walk. David Montgomery, Las Vegas Raiders. Surprisingly, the Raiders didn't pick up the 5th-year option on Josh Jacobs' contract. It sounds to us like the new Vegas front office isn't factoring Jacobs into their long-term plans. Add it all up, and it seems likely that both parties will go their separate ways in the offseason. And if that is the case, Vegas will need to find a replacement in their backfield. That's where David Montgomery comes into play. Monty will likely be a lot cheaper than Jacobs, and you gotta think that the Bears will happily let him walk as they move forward with Khalil Herbert as their RB1. Chicago's former 3rd-rounder will have his fair share of suitors on the open market, but Vegas may turn out to be Monty's best bet at retaining a starting job somewhere. Josh Jacobs, Miami Dolphins. As for the aforementioned Josh Jacobs, well, if the Raiders aren't going to re-sign him, why not go to Miami? The Dolphins feature one of the league's most explosive offenses thanks to Tua Tagovailoa's breakout year and the prolific pass-catching duo of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. 2022 free agent pickup Raheem Mostert has been excellent in Mike McDaniel's offense, but he'll be 31 next season, and that's pretty ancient for a running back. Jacobs is 6 years younger and still in his prime. The Dolphins also picked up Jeff Wilson Jr. from the 49ers at the trade deadline, but he's set to become a free agent this summer as well, and his injury history and skill sets don't exactly make him the most appealing starting option for a Super Bowl contender. Simply put, Mostert and Wilson are good, but Jacobs is great. Adding his speed and explosiveness to an offense that already has 2 of the fastest receivers in the game right now, that would certainly spell trouble for opposing defenses. Yannick Ngakoue, New England Patriots. There aren't too many weaknesses on that stingy Patriots defense, but we can't help but wonder how much more potent it would be if Matthew Judon had more proven veterans to help on the edge. So, how about pairing him with a guy who racked up at least 8 sacks in each of his first 6 seasons? It's not hard for Bill Belichick to recruit big-name players on discount prices. Ngakoue would surely love the chance to play on a long-term title contender, and New England is loaded with cap space for 2023. Ngakoue and Judon would give New England the best pass-rushing duo in an unforgiving AFC East division. Josh Allen and Tua Tagovailoa certainly would not be happy to see these 2 game wreckers hook up in Foxborough. Jesse Bates III, Los Angeles Rams. The Rams undoubtedly need some more help on defense, especially in the secondary. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and Bobby Wagner round out a nice big 3 on Raheem Morris's unit. But a quality cover man and playmaking safety would help this D regain its 2021 form. Doesn't feel like the Cincinnati Bengals will retain standout safety Jesse Bates, who agreed to play 2022 under the franchise tag. Bates is one of the game's better playmaking safeties, having racked up 31 pass defenses from 2018 to 2020 and 10 total picks over his first 4 seasons. Joining a ball-hawking secondary led by Ramsey would help Bates make the smooth transition to LA, and he would definitely help extend the Rams' championship window for at least a few more seasons. Jack Conklin, Indianapolis Colts. The Colts O-line just hasn't been the same since longtime offensive tackle Anthony Costanzo called it quits after the 2020 season. Quentin Nelson is still among the NFL's premier guards, but the help at the tackle position is needed, and Conklin is the best one currently slated to hit the 2023 free agent market. Conklin's grades have been consistently strong at Pro Football Focus. He allowed just 2 sacks in 2020 and another 2 in 2021. He has been among the game's best tackles since his 2016 rookie year, and the Colts should be all in on acquiring him. James Bradbury, Arizona Cardinals. Bradbury certainly isn't disappointed after getting cut by the Giants 2 years into a 3-year deal. He took a 1-year pact with the Eagles and has since enjoyed arguably his best season yet in the NFL. Again, Philly probably won't spend too crazy to retain aging free agents, and Bradbury has set himself up nicely for yet another big payday. If the Eagles do let him walk, no team has a greater need at cornerback than the Cardinals, who are trying to maximize their competitive window with Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and Budda Baker. Levante David, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rather than chase a lucrative deal in 2021 free agency, David re-signed with a team-friendly 2-year pact after leading the Bucs to a Super Bowl 55 championship. David is still playing at a very high level and has not shown any signs of slowing down. Even if Tom Brady retires, the Bucs remain in win-now mode with all those pricey veterans. And given Devin White's inconsistent play since his career year in 2020, the Bucs have every reason to keep David in Tampa. If David took a pay cut ahead of his age 31 season, why won't he do it again in his age 33 campaign too? Jacoby Myers, Green Bay Packers. For an undrafted guy out of NC State, Myers has made quite the name for himself in New England. After a meh rookie year in 2019, Myers led the Patriots in receiving for the 2020 and 2021 season, putting up 83 catches for 866 yards in the latter. Myers has upped his game in year 4 and is poised for a mega payday. Bill Belichick rarely spends top dollar to retain free agents.
Can't find my checkbook. Hope you don't mind I pay you in change.
The Pats also have Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, Devontae Parker, and Tyquan Thornton as pass catchers, so they really don't need to spend crazy dollars on Myers. Plus, a receiver-needy team like the Packers should feel inclined to outbid New England for Myers. Green Bay doesn't have a true number 1 wideout on their roster, and that simply has to change if they want to maximize their window with Aaron Rodgers. If Myers can put up good numbers with Cam Newton, Mac Jones, and Bailey Zappi, just imagine what he'd do with a 4-time league MVP. Myers is the perfect target for Green Bay, and they have the cap space to pay him what he wants. It is the perfect match. But where do you think the top NFL free agents of 2023 will sign? Join us in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.